In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace front wheel bearings on a Jeep Cherokee, which are located behind the front wheels. You want to raise and support your vehicle safely. You want to take out these 5 19mm bolts. They are not lug nuts. Put this back in by hand a little bit so the wheel doesn't fall off when you take that 5th one out. You want to take this axle nut off first. It is a 36mm. Make sure that axle is moving freely in the wheel bearing. And you got your rear caliper bracket bolts. You want to take those out. Just be careful because this is heavy. Hold it up. You don't want to kink your hose. And you don't want it to dangle from just that hose. So grab a little hook. Up. Push it out of the way. When you remove the rotor, there is a Allen. It is a H5 Allen bolt. You want to hold the rotor so the rotor doesn't fall. Take that bolt right out. After removing the rotor, we can see the wheel bearing is here. We want to go on the back side because it's held in by 4 bolts. On the back side of here, there are 4 E14 bolts. You want to remove them. And that's what they look like. And we're going to do the same for the 2 on the other side. Just put your axle nut on, thread it a couple of threads, just so that wheel bearing doesn't fall off. After tapping it a couple of times with the hammer, it is separating here. Sometimes these come right off, sometimes they don't, but stay with it. And once it's free, you want to remove your axle nut and slide the wheel bearing off. Remove your wheel bearing and discard it properly. After removing your wheel bearing, you want to clean this surface. That way your new wheel bearing will mate up to it nice and flat. Once you're done cleaning, it's always good to take a little bit of spray and just get that debris out of there. After cleaning the mating surface, little tech tip, you can put some anti-seize on this axle because it will slide through the new wheel bearing much easier. Take a new wheel bearing, slide it over the axle, and give it a push. After you push the wheel bearing in from the front, you want to install your 4 E14 bolts. These will be getting torqued down to 70 foot-pounds. Now install the other two. Now let's get ready to torque those down. After you torque those bolts on your wheel bearing, we'll throw a little anti-seize on the front side, the mating surface, just so that rotor sits nice and flat and will be lubed. You want to clean the back side of the rotor. This will be the place where the wheel bearing sits. So you want to get that nice and smooth, flat, nothing in there, no debris, rocks, anything. Gonna put our rotor back on over our wheel bearing. Make sure your alignment is aligned up for your bolt that holds the rotor to the hub. On there. Make sure that's flat, that stays level. And just tighten it up and give it a snug. All right, we're getting ready to install our brake caliper back on to our knuckle. Just make sure you have some clean surfaces. That way everything stays straight. You want to swing this down, make sure that brake hose is not kinked or spun. You want to slide that on. Start a bolt. Keep holding it just in case it wants to fall back. Start another bolt. And you want to snug these up. Before you go torque anything down, you want to make sure your brake pads are still seated and where they're supposed to be, which this looks good. These bolts, you want to torque them at 129 foot-pounds. After we put the caliper on, we're going to put our axle nut on and torque that down to 148 foot-pounds. After you install your axle nut, you want to snug that down. Now you want to torque it at 148 foot-pounds. Now you take your lug bolts off. After your axle nut is torqued down, you want to peen this part over. That way it doesn't back out. You can take a punch and a hammer and do it easily. And for your reinstall, line up your holes. Put these in by hand so you don't cross thread. And give them a snug. Now that we have our wheels back on the ground, we're going to torque these at 100 foot-pounds in a crisscross manner.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.